Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Is Jeff Bezos still a Trump supporter?
Look, I will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon. And Secretary, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I would also add that the bringing down the terrible Biden inflation has been a priority for the first 100 days of the Trump administration, and President Trump has done a great job of leading that. Since January 20th, interest rates, mortgage rates are down, gasoline and energy prices are down. We're expecting the further decreases.
From Fox Business, China caves on 125% tariff for major U.S. export after White House predicts Beijing can't keep up. The initial question you heard, isn't that crystal clear evidence that it's the American people that's really paying the price? It's like you would think if you listen to Rachel Maddow or Nicole Wallace or any of these leftist wackos, you would think, wow, Xi Jinping must be in the Bahamas sipping Mai Tais right now. And every single employee in Beijing and across China, well, they're all getting bonuses because everything is hunky-dory there. They are so desperate for Trump to lose. That's how much they hate your country. That's how much they hate this president. They want China, the authoritarian Communist Party, to win. Dear Lord, these people, it won't stop. China waved, I have to calm down. Read stuff like this, it drives me bananas. China waived a 125% tariff on ethane imports from the U.S. on Tuesday, according to a report from Reuters. China had initially imposed the tariff earlier this month as part of the retaliation against President Donald Trump's Liberation Day tariffs campaign. China is responsible for purchasing roughly half of America's ethane exports each year, according to U.S. Energy Information Administration. Chinese companies that rely on U.S. ethane include Satellite Chemicals, SP Chemicals, Sinopec, Sinfang Fine Chemicals, and Wanhua Chemical Group, while the key U.S. exports are Enterprise Products Partners and Energy Transfer. Ethane joins a growing list of products that the China has granted tariff exemptions. What? For amid the ongoing trade war with Washington. Last week, Chinese officials granted exemptions for pharmaceuticals, microchips, and aircraft engines. Why do we have aircraft engines being built in communist China? Someone please explain that to me. We don't have engineers that can actually do that. We don't have the machinery. We don't have the ingenuity. We can't do it here. Dear Lord, come on. It's like look, do you want your home team to win? Don't you want your team to win? I mean, gosh, microchips and aircraft engines, and we're asking firms, that's China, asking firms to identify critical goods they need levy-free. News of the ethane tariffs removal comes after U.S. Treasury Scott Bessent insisted that Trump's tariffs were putting major pressure on Beijing. Speaking at the White House on Tuesday morning, Bessent said the tariffs stand to cost China millions of jobs if it does not change course. You're not going to get that from Rachel Maddow. They're not going to tell you that. No. You're not going to get that from Nicole Wallace. You're just going to get that evil Trump is supposed to lower the cost of eggs. We don't understand why he's just screwing the American people. Don't you feel bad that you voted for him now? Listen to this. Speaking at the White House on Tuesday morning, Bessent said the tariffs stand to cost China millions of jobs if it does not change course. Right now, China is panicking. The people are going bizarre. I can guarantee you, whatever you think is happening here, it's happening doubly there. You see, here's the thing, and Rachel Maddow and all of these lunatics on the left, they won't tell you. This is the market. Yes, the good old US of A. We're the market. The good old red, white, and blue. We're the market. We're the market. This is where everyone wants to be. See, right now, there's some report. China is secretly trying to recruit other countries to stand against America. It's like, are you a lunatic? Everybody wants in on this. And by the way, if you don't believe me, go on TikTok and see how many products are being sold to Americans by Americans. Do you know anyone in your family, anyone in your inner circle that purchase things like constantly? They're buying a shirt or buying some shoes or buying this or buying that. They're getting a brand new set of tools or they're getting a brand new this or a brand new that. Do you know why they're doing that? Because we are the capital. We are at the top of the food chain when it comes to consuming. And there's not a country on this green planet that doesn't want in, up to and including China. China needs us. And you will never hear from that. You'll never hear about that. Just if you could just be patient, just wait. Wait. China cannot stand this. If you got to understand something. If we stop buying all of that Chinese whatevers, I'm not talking about, critical things. I'm talking about stuff that you don't need to survive. Guess what ends up happening here? I'll tell you what, nothing. What happens there? Jobs are being lost. Like Scott Bessent just told you. Yeah, jobs are being lost. Guess what ends up happening? Factories shut down. That's what ends up happening. And by the way, if iPhone moves to India, what do you think is going to happen then? What happens if word gets out that iPhones are no longer being made in China? That they've slowed production? Where do all of those jobs go? So you can't listen to the left media. They'll lie to you. Man, I really believe they want China to win this trade war. They want China to win. And it's in their best interest because they told you that he was a threat to our very democracy. That's it for now. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.